Awesome. Let's get into it. Let's attack the bar. Let's get straight into it as we normally do. Heavy bench, 1, 2, 5. Ready, Rob. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Your bar. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go on, one more. Nice and easy. Go on. Press, 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 press. Yep, I got.
Smooth, beautiful. Woo. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Awesome. Yes. Haha. Welcome back. Lest we forget, welcome to the Remembrance Day stream for all those that lost their lives in the war. I'm streaming a bit later today to out of respect. And all those paying their respects at the Cenotaph in London today. It's a huge thing in this country for all those watching in Germany, Poland, America, India, Sweden, all those that have tuned in from abroad. We have a Remembrance Day here on the 11th of November. So we wear this poppy as a sign of respect as well. So I've had family members that have served in the military. My uncle was in the Kings, something called the Kings actually. They may have disbanded that regiment now though. So I hope you can hear me, we're right next to the speaker, but I think you can. So I'm feeling great after the last session. We live streamed, and the previous live streams, if you haven't seen it, we live streamed from Newport. We did a fantastic session in Newport, which was trap bar deadlift. We did some chin-ups, amazing chin-ups on those handles, which I absolutely love. I love those love handles. And we did some shoulder press, and then we reviewed the gym as well, but we're home sweet home today. We're back in our usual gym. Bouncing, music's on. My quads, so the trap bar deadlift that we did, it will hit the quads a little bit as well, so we're gonna do something today to complement that as well. We're gonna do a little bit of leg work. We're starting off with bench press. Heavy bench, we've got 1, 2, 5 on here now. This is a new weight increment. We previously did 122.5. So we've done 2 sessions on 122.5. I mastered all the reps, all the sets. So now we've increased slightly. We've gone up to 125 now. We're gonna do that again. We're gonna do it at least twice. So, we're flying. So we're gonna get 5 sets out on this. It's a new weight increment, so as you know, on the first day of the new weight increment, it can be hard, it can be a little bit tough, particularly when you come to the 4th and 5th set and those final few reps pushing through. That's why you've got to, personally, I recommend, and I think you'll see the most progress from staying away from your ego and sticking on that weight until you've mastered all the reps, all the sets. The temptation is that first set will be very, very easy, and you'll be tempted to kind of increase the weight in like a pyramid style, but we don't train in pyramids. I don't train in pyramids. I do the pyramids during the bodybuilding season, but during the strength season, I stick and I work that muscle right through all those reps, all those sets. So I feel fantastic. I have a slightly tight pec muscle actually, and I think it happened from, it's not come from doing anything to do with bench press though. I think what it is when I've been holding the yoke carry over my shoulders, my arms have been externally rotated and abducted. And I think I've just like tightened my pec by carrying that yoke frame slightly. Because it's a bit of a weird thing, but it's not like, it's just a bit of tightness, but it feels okay when I'm actually bench pressing. So, it feels okay. Quads feel good after the trap bar. And so what we're going to do today, we're going to do heavy bench. We're going to do walk-in lunges. We're introducing a new exercise for legs. So we usually do a lot of exercises for legs. We are big advocates on training legs on this channel. It's an absolutely essential thing to do. So we're going to introduce walking lunges today, which are absolutely fantastic. They're going to really hit your legs differently, and to be honest, it's just the most amazing exercise that complements the squats and the deadlifts. So I highly recommend walking lunge. We're going to talk more about that though later on, so stay tuned. And we're going to finish off with something I didn't do in the last stream, which I should have. I remember I should have done some loaded abdominal work, so I might do that on camera today. Get the belt on, load up the chain, and do some hanging abs. So bench, legs, walking lunges, and some abs. I'm going to do another set right now. See if we can grab Rob. So I should have done the abs last time, I forgot because I was too busy reviewing the gym. But not to worry, the abs would have got a good workout from doing the trap bar and the overhead press. Let's do another set.
Same again.
I need a little bit of chalk, but we'll be all right for this second set. Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Your bar. 1, 2, come on. 3, come on. 4, one more. Press. Nice, man.
Nice one, Rob. Awesome. Come on. So do some hanging abs today. And then I'll probably do some calf work or some lower back work off camera. Back to a gym with some atmosphere. Oh, so if you have watched the last stream, which was live from Newport reviewing JD gyms, you will, I've slightly adjusted the score. I've given it like 4.5. I've downgraded it by half a point or 1 point. If you look in the description of the video, you can see the scoring criteria. And that's not for all JD gyms, that's just for that one I particularly went to, which it was nice, it was okay. So it's a good stream to go and watch if you're interested in, if you're looking for a gym. Excuse me. But the scoring criteria is very important. There was a couple of things I forgot to mention. They do have permanent connection to Wi-Fi, which is good. And the other thing I was going to say was, I think it's a good place to get started, but I think it's one of those gyms that you're only going to go so far in there because there's a limit to what you can achieve with the equipment that they have. I think the equipment is good, but I'm not really going to be able to push on my strength work there. If I was to train there, there'll be lots of things that I couldn't do. I mean, you've seen the other streams on this channel that, you know, we've got the Atlas stones. There's a car to lift outside. I wonder if we could do that by the end of the season. We've got the yoke carry. We've got the sandbags. There's just so many things that they haven't got. So I think it's a good place to start. But yeah, if you haven't caught that stream, do click back and watch it. The content is there. There's lots of other good streams as well. It's all a continuity. The whole channel is a steady, progressive continuation of strength training. And the atmosphere is back because we're back in our usual gym. So thanks for joining on the Remembrance Day stream. This was always a massive day. I went to a really good primary school actually. There was a government-owned, what do they call, like a government-owned primary school, and it was, they were very big on charity, very big on, we were always very big on Remembrance Day. I remember our headmaster was absolutely superb. Remembering good British values. I think we've got a really good thing. This country, I love this country. The UK, we've got a special thing.
Lots of power, nice work, on.
Right, I think we're doing all right here, guys. 2 more sets. This is getting tough, but after the third 2 or 3 sets, we've warmed up. So heavy bench, light sweat, heavy weight. We've warmed up very good. Today, I did actually, on the warm-up, I did some face pulls. It's a really nice way to hit the rotator cuff. So just literally taking one of these cables, setting the actual cable stand a little bit lower. In the previous gym I was in the last live stream, they had so many cable machines. So if you're in a gym with lots of cable machines, there are elements of the cables that are quite good. So you can lower this down slightly, and you can pull up above your head, keep your elbows locked out, nice and straight. And I was doing some face pulls as well, but bringing the carriage to around chin to face level, just pulling vertically across. That's really helping the shoulder to open up. That's really helping the rotator cuff. It's really hitting that rotator cuff, getting that nice and wide, stimulating and stretching out as well. Balancing the shoulder girdle with the pec muscle around the front, and the stabilizers, the small muscles that stabilize and help give that freedom and mobility to the shoulder. Very easily neglected by many people. Let's do another set. Ready? I think that's 3 minutes, isn't it? This can be tough, but you feel nice and supercharged. Let's do another set. So let me fight. No help. Let me fight. Control your breathing, and you really go into the zone, and you really think about how you're going to do, and think through all your reps. Imagine the achievement, and think how rep 1, and then think, right, you're going to breathe at this point, you're going to squeeze the bar, and you're going to blow out and power through. Second rep, same. Third rep, fourth rep. Right, the fourth rep, fifth rep's going to be really hard, so extra focus. But I anticipate psychologically how it's going to feel, and you've kind of already achieved it. There's a method to the madness, and I think that's something that I find works. If you've already envisioned it, nothing groundbreaking here, by the way. It's like believing you can achieve. I'm not creating anything new at all, but I actually do think it works. So let's envision in success. Woo. Nice to be back. We don't normally bench press in here, do we? We normally bench press through the strength room, but I wanted to come in here today, and we'll go through to the other room when I'm doing walking lunges. Whew. One more set. Ah, chest is feeling so tight and thick. Beautiful. So we are winning. We are winning. Feeling fantastic. Like for November, feeling really fresh for November. Progress has been absolutely fantastic. So we'll be going through till March time, and then we'll start switching things around. Right, one more set now, absolute focus. Triceps are pumped. One more set. Right, I think we're ready. I think we've got about another 30 seconds, 40 seconds. And that's our 3-minute rest. 3-minute break. Rob's here, nice one, mate. Whew. Five again. Nice and smooth. Let's go into the zone.
3, 2, 1. Your bar. Nice. 1, 2, 3. Come on. 4. Last one, not to power. 1. Press. Come on. Come on. Nice, mate. Well done.
Yes. Wow. To be fair, first 8 on a new weight increment, I'm satisfied with that because that's a 2.5 kilo increase up to 125, and that's all reps, all sets achieved at the first time of asking. So we will do that once more on that weight again, just to really master it, allow the shoulders, the tendons, the cartilage, the ligaments to all adapt, because remember, the muscles, oh, it's easy to stimulate the muscles, but what will take longer, the tendons, the cartilage, the connective tissue, that also needs to synthesize, regrow, regenerate from the new stress. As we grow, well, that is fantastic. We're going to go through to the other room now. Walking lunges coming up. Do some warm-up sets and we'll get going. It's fantastic. Woo. I'll say thanks to Rob for helping us. That's good stuff. Get the legs well warmed up. Right, let me drop this bag off first and then we'll go through to the strength room. Make sure we're well warmed up. Plenty of space in here today. Right, I think we're ready to go. Ready to rock. Let's get these legs going. Really hit the legs. Right, here we go. Gorgeous gym, fantastic place. Here we go. Iron mates. Right. Where do we want to go? We probably want to come through here. Quick question, mate. Yeah. I'm going to do some walking lunges from the rack up there. Yeah. Do you mind if we share the space? If you're doing farmer's carry, are you happy just to, if you even just 5 meters this way? Is that all right? Yeah, mate. Just in terms of safety. Thanks, mate. I can get back to the rack dead easy then. Thank you, thank you. Splendid. Right. We've got the walking lunges set up now. Awesome. Right, we tuck this in here, and I think that is a top spot. We've got a good perspective there to see this walking lunge action. Fantastic exercise. So I'm going to do a couple of warm-up sets as well because it is a demanding, very, very taxing exercise for the legs. It's not to be underestimated. So I do just want to make sure I have done some warm-up off screen, but I just want to make sure I'm absolutely thoroughly warmed up. Extremely taxing exercise. I don't know if the music's set up today actually. It's going to get the lower back a little bit warmer. Deadlifts, get the abs switched on. I do some hanging leg raises now as well, just switch the core on, rotational elements of the core. because there's a slight twist when you do lunges, slight twist in your abdomen, and it does hit your lower abdomen and obliques. I've just done those hanging leg raises from the bar. I can feel my lats actually, they are pretty sore after doing those handled chin-ups. It's just a completely different stimulation in the body. Plus the wide grip trap bar, it just hits differently. It's always strange when you can do the same exercise, but if you just slightly tweak the equipment or the angle or the way you're doing it with the stimulation, really hits the muscle so much differently. So, right, let's do a free barbell set, just with no weight on the bar. And let's make sure our thoracic spine is warmed up as well. Get all those erector muscles. See, that's a good idea to do this because it'll really stretch the groin as well. And we'll talk about all things walking lunges, walking barbell lunges. Right in this gentleman's way. Ooh, balance. Really gets the groin stretched out. So we'll probably go there and back. Ooh. Yeah, that's good. Gets the quads cooking a little bit. Just re-rack that on the squat rack. Just get these legs nice and stretched. And the knees as well. Particularly looking after the meniscus and the cartilage in the knee. Make sure you look after the meniscus and the cartilage in the knee. You're putting quite a lot of pressure, quite a lot of stress through one leg. So the beauty of doing walking lunges, if you're an athlete or if you're a sports person, track and field, a runner, any sport that kind of involves running, most sports involve running. Running essentially, or a matter of fact, it's a one-legged sport because of course at any one time only one leg is on the floor or in contact with the floor. So these walking lunges, of course, for some of the gait cycle, your gait cycle is essentially a fancy word for walking. The walking cycle, there's different phases of a walking cycle. It's kind of got heel strike, foot down mid stance, heel off, toe off, and you go like that, heel strike, like plantar flexion, heel off, toe off, push off. So essentially that's what we're doing with these walking lunges. Nothing too complex, but the idea is essentially you're on one leg for the majority of that cycle. This is really, really helpful to protect your meniscus, which is the cartilage inside the knee. It's really, really complementary to the heavy squats that we do. I have had time, sometimes weeks, sometimes a week or two, where I haven't done any heavy squats at all because I've stepped away, because I felt perhaps that my squats are getting a little bit stale and I'm kind of like, I just needed a little boost, some extra power. And this walking lunge is the greatest thing that you can do to really complement your deadlift and your squat. It will bring on all your deep core power that we spoke a lot about, psoas, iliopsoas, iliacus and psoas major muscles in your hip flexors, abs, quads, hamstrings, control around the knee, really helpful to protect the knee joint as well. Keeping your hamstrings essentially nice and strong will really help that knee joint as well. It will hit the calves a little bit, and in fact when I actually get really, really heavy, I have noticed that I felt that the muscles in my feet have been a little bit sore because you're working so hard to push into the floor as you heel strike and as you toe off. As you're pushing through that gait cycle, you'll push through the calf muscle, the ankle muscle. You'll push through the calf muscle and your ankle, and the muscles in your feet will also contract to push through your toes. So if you do it properly and you do it well, you should feel all of your entire lower body. It's really important to keep a nice core, tight core, but we'll talk more about that. We'll do some sets now and we'll talk more about it as we go along, because that's the most important thing. Should we get some, let's get some 25s now. This is such a fantastic exercise. Whether you're new or a gym veteran, I can probably predict that you haven't got enough walk-in lunges in your program. It is another one of those exercises that, as I've mentioned in many of my streams, of many exercises that I actually do include, it is yet another one that you will hardly see anybody doing. Hardly. I'm not saying everybody, but most people do not do it. It is damn hard and grueling. But we do the things we don't like because that's where the progress is, and we work on our weaknesses on this channel authentically. So anyway, let's see what we can do. This is just a warm-up, all right? Nice. So that feels nice. Good. So we'll talk more about this now. Little tips, tackers. Right. Ooh. So I've started off nice and light, 70 kilos only. I'm going to do another set again on 70 kilos. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath. Ooh. First thing you need, safety. You need space. In the previous live stream, I spoke about how JD had organised their strength area. I can see what they've tried to achieve. They want to do a bit of CrossFit, they want to do a bit of strength, they want to do a bit of boxing in the corner, they want a bit of bodybuilding with the mirrors, but it's too much in one small place. And they've got posts now. There are posts in this gym, but they've planned around that, so you have the open space. So this is excellent. You're going to need space for this, because when you're loaded up with this barbell lunge, and if you're on one leg and you're loaded up, the liability that you have is your body wants to twist. So there's a kind of torque going through the body constantly. The torque is right through the axis of your body, and every time you step forwards on one leg, you're almost twisting slightly. That's where your abdominal muscles come in, and your obliques muscles and your transversus abdominis. It wants to stop you rotating. That's what the abdominals do, as well as flex the trunk, flex your body a little bit, help to lift your legs up a little bit. They actually help and prevent rotation. So if you are loaded up with a heavy barbell, lunging, and you don't have enough space, and you clip the end of your barbell, it's going to send you off. The problem that you have there is you're loaded up with a bar on your shoulders, you're twisting, and you're out of control. That's where you're going to do yourself some serious spinal damage. You're going to really hurt the discs in your back and the intervertebral joints in your back as well. So space is very important. You've got to make sure, that's why I asked the gentleman just at the start of the stream, the start of this exercise here, if he could just give me an extra 5 meters for his safety and for mine. The next thing on safety is looking after your lower back, your abs and your knees. You've got to make sure you're thoroughly warmed up. You're loaded up on one leg in a rather vulnerable position, so you don't want to hurt your knees, okay? If you have had a previous knee injury or knee surgery, go light or get advice from your physiotherapist or your doctor before you do this. We spoke a lot about lower back, so we do a lot of hyperextensions. We do our deadlifts, we do our squats, so my lower back is relatively strong. But when I'm loaded up and doing this really, really heavy, I can feel it work in my lower back. Okay, we'll do another set and then we'll continue. But this is the most wonderful exercise. I love walking lunges. Really, it'll revolutionize your training. And make sure you got safety clips on as well, guys, because the weights will slide off. So just there, my body wants to rotate. Nice big strides. So we'll talk a bit more about technique. So we spoke about some safety basics. We'll speak more about technique now. We'll get a little bit more weight on the bar. Now we're feeling a bit more warmed up. So put on 2 10s, let's go up to about 90 kilo. Where's the 10s? Here we go. Sorry. Okie doke. Just fiddle with the volume. I think the volume's okay. Right, so safety first. Walking lunges are absolutely essential for your program. Not enough guys do it. I don't know why. It will bring on absolutely everything else. Really complementary to the squat, really complementary to the deadlift, as I mentioned. Really complementary to strengthening your lower back. It will help everything that we've done in the other streams as well, all the power movements that we've done. It will bring on your quads and your hamstrings and your glutes pretty much that nothing else can do because it's so dynamic. What do I aim for? I keep the same principles that I do for all my other exercises, which is sub-max. I'm not going to be going to 1 rep max on this at all. It's not a 1 rep max exercise. It's a dynamic functional movement that I want to really work through over time. This is a 10 out of 10, this exercise. I do sometimes give exercises ratings. This is a 10. You have to make sure your thoracic spine is thoroughly warmed up. because you're going to need to keep your chest up and your abs really tense. The tendency is that as you're loaded up and you're getting tired, you will start to sag a little bit and lean forwards, and then you're out of control of your abs then, and it can really start forcing you into rotation. You've got to really focus on keeping your chest up. Your chest has got to be right up and right out. And I'll speak about how and where you place your feet in a moment. Let's do another set. So this is 90 kilos. See, this is a fair weight. I mean, you've got to respect it because it's such a vulnerable exercise as well. So anyway, let's have a pop. So again, I'm not aiming for a specific number of reps. I'm working until I feel like I've got a few more in the tank. And my technique is absolutely sublime. Is my knee touching the floor? No, because I want to keep my body under tension. As soon as my knee touches the floor, everything's going to switch off. Chest up. Beautiful. So, by keeping my knee off the floor, I can keep the power in my hind leg. So the leg is the foot that is behind me. I can drive through the feet, drive through the toes, which will propel me forwards. So I don't want to go into a dead stop position with my knee touching the floor. It will also help me to keep tension in this front leg. As soon as I switch off here, all my pelvic control is gone. I'm almost rotating like this in an extreme example, but by keeping my knee off the floor, look how much tension. There's almost a bit of buoyancy there. I've got a bit of elasticity, spring in my step, and I can push through. By touching the floor, all this is gone, all through here. I've switched off. So, I need a breather, sorry. So if I'm going to do it towards the camera, what you have is, I'm staying in line. I can step out a little bit. I don't mind sweeping out. I don't mind doing that. I don't mind slightly going to the side. Don't mind that. You can do this backwards as well. I can do it backwards with a slightly lighter weight. No harm in doing reverse lunges. No harm in doing reverse lunges. Go backwards. Go backwards, baby. Absolutely fantastic. It's hard, but you're going to need to make sure that you're in line. Now, how far forward do you lunge? I lunge as far forward as I like. You're going to hear PhD guy, personal trainer guy, whoever, they got their opinions. I just think of safety, and I think, where do I want to hit? Do I want my knee joint and my knee capsule to be safe and stable? Yes, I do. So if I'm stepping out too wide and my knees are in a vulnerable position and not fully supported by my ankle, so if my knee is coming way over my foot, that way or that way, fair enough, your knee is vulnerable and you can injure it. So I do like to keep my knee in line with my foot because they work together. Knees over toes, you may have heard that one, that's fine. However, what do I want to hit? If I want to hit my quads a little bit more, or do I want to hit my hamstrings a little bit more? I find the further out I stretch, I'm putting more of a stretch and strain on my hamstrings. That's how I feel it as I'm stretching right out. My hamstring has got to work really hard to pull from that ischial tuberosity on my pelvis to the knee. It really wants to contract because it's on much more of a stretch. If I'm lunging a bit shallower, so that's a deep stretch, deep lunge. If I'm stretching a little bit narrower and my stretch isn't as far, I find I sit into the lunge a bit more and my quad really fires up. And my quad is so big that it almost acts as like an airbag It's right underneath my pelvis. I can drive right through that. The knee feels very stable. You're driving right through the knee and the ankle joint, and you can push through. I personally like to vary it because I may have just done heavy squats, or I may have just done heavy deadlift, and my quads might be a bit more pumped, or my hamstrings might be a bit more pumped. Whichever one that is, I will adjust my lunges and go, do you know what? I'm gonna hit quads a bit more today, or do you know what? I'm gonna hit hamstrings a bit more today. It makes no difference. All of it is progress. As long as you're working really hard and you're getting your reps out and your technique is amazing, this is just the most fantastic exercise. Right, I think we should put some weight on the bar, and I'm gonna start doing some working sets. Now, we are introducing new exercises here now because we're in week 9, 8 to 9, week 9. So I haven't done this for a long, long time, but I'm gonna probably go, I think it's reasonable. I can probably get 100, 110 kilos today. And I think, do you know what? I think that's gonna be really challenging, really stimulatory. So let me put a little bit more weight on the bar. We spoke about safety, we spoke about some basics of technique today, and next time when we do walking lunges again, we will introduce, and I'll do some more teaching on it. So let's see if we can put a 15 kilo on. That'll be 100. We should be able to get about 110 out actually, because our squat, our deadlift, and our rowing and our trap bar deadlift and our other power movements are really, really powerful. So we should have all that strength in the bank. So that's 100 on. And we put on a couple of 5s, will give us 110. Oh. And then we'll finish off doing some abs. Right, another set coming up. Thumbs up on the video, guys. Awesome. So we've got all this all this space. So what I might do, we've got some new 25 plates in here actually. Really thin 25 plates like the Olympic ones. They look really good. Right, nice lift. Walk over. Okay, lots of power. Oof. Knee hit the ground. That's tiredness. Awesome. Wow. Careful. So, wow, that feels nice. Wow. So, oof. I can really feel my abs working, quads working. Just hits different. So, another safety point there is when you're loaded up, as you finished your reps, you'll notice that I wanted to turn around. Now the issue you're going to have is you're loaded and you're twisting to turn around. Be very careful, because again you're putting an axial rotational loaded force through your spine. So I tend to go very slow. As I turn, I take small steps, and sometimes because there's enough space, do you know what? Caution to the wind, extra safety, just walk around in a larger turning circle. What you don't want to be doing is twisting suddenly on the spot just to face the other way. So very steady turn around. This is the best legs exercise aside from, I would say, the squat. The squat is obviously supreme. This is absolutely unbelievable. Walking lunges will change your life. If you want to really build really healthy looking legs, whether you're male or female, this will give you that shape and complexion that you want through your legs. And if you are into the booty building, I know that's a big thing now. Girls want to get their booties bigger. This will hit that gluteus maximus, medius minimus that we've spoke about in the other streams that we've done on leg days and squat days. This is extra power. So not only strength and size, but this is pure power driving through that gluteal muscle, especially as you're going deep on this. We're not doing half reps lunges and half rep squats on this channel. We go full depth. So the same on this lunges here. You are extra deep here. So your standing leg that you're lunging through, the stretch on this glute muscle is coming right through. And you'll really feel, if you do enough reps, you'll really feel your glute muscle absolutely firing off. So it's an amazing way to build all of your lower body. Not enough people do it. So if you want little tips, tricks and secrets and how you can kind of get ahead, and the guys doing all the same hip thrusts and they're doing all this, the one that they like doing, they tie the little weight plate cable thing around the ankle and they're doing all this, or they're on all fours and they're going like that. Sure, it'll hit you, it'll glute you, it'll hit your glutes, but it's not really gonna push you to the next level and get that solid foundation. This will. Oh. This will bring your glutes to the next level. Oh. I think what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to switch these weight plates over. Because we've got some really thin ones, which I think will help with the balance through the bar. I'll show you what I mean. What I'm going to do is switch the 25 plates around. We've got these really nice silver discs. Yeah, they look gorgeous. Really nice plates. And just by putting some thinner weights on the bar, we've got less bend in the bar. As the weight stays a bit more centralized. 25 kilo silver discs. So that's still 110. We'll do another set now. So this is our working set. We'll do probably do 3 sets of this actually. I think that's sensible. We'll be hitting heavy deadlift again on Monday. Right. Whew. Here we go. Yeah, that feels better. Less rotation because there's less fat discs towards the edge of the bar. Don't want to get in this gentleman's way. Ooh. 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 Wow. Fully charged. Wow. Wow. So today I've done heavy bench with these walk-in lunges, but in other sessions, in other streams, I will combine this with heavy deadlift. No harm in doing heavy deadlift with heavy walk-in lunges as a session. No harm in doing heavy squats with heavy walk-in lunges as a session. No harm combining them. If anything, very intelligent, very complementary, beautiful workout. Excellent dynamic work. Woo. All growth. I can also feel my back because I remember we did in the previous stream we did the chin-ups, didn't we? Those hanging chins in the very last stream. And today, by putting the weight on our back again and doing some lunges or doing some squats, you're still asking your back to support you again. Although you're not pulling through it, as we did with the chin-up, you're asking your back, I'm asking my back today to stabilize as I'm lunging. I'm asking it to keep my chest nice and high, nice and out. Thoracic spine stabilized. Lats have got to kick in to really pin those shoulders back, keep everything nice and stable. So, very complementary. And I can feel what I was just talking about, as in the length of my strides. I can really feel my hamstrings asking questions. I can really feel my quads working now because it's quite hamstring and quad and glute dominant, this exercise. But when we did the trap bar deadlift, that's super taxing on the quads when we do that form, that style of deadlift. So you'll hit the quads again. It's beautiful. So we're going to do one more set of this. One more set, and then we are going to do some weighted hanging abdominal work from one of the bars here. I'll get We'll get some weight between the legs, get it going up. I explained the importance of that previously, loading up those abdominals. Wow. Forgive me, it's while I catch my breath. It's good fun. One more set coming up. I think we're ready for another set, final set. That really takes out of you. It's grueling, guys. It's a really grueling exercise. It's really, really hard, but it's when the most progress is as well. If you're just starting out and your squats, you're finding it really, really hard to squat, and you're finding it really, really hard to get that range of movement and that power and that balance, start with a very light barbell lunge. Focus. Ooh. Ooh, damn, that was tough. Big turning circle. Damn, that was hard. That is absolutely brutal. Ooh. That is brutal. And my legs are firing. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. So I was going there, I was like, I wasn't really counting the reps. and more listening to how I feel. So I may have got to 10 or 12, but I felt like I definitely had some more in. So I went for 12 to 14, which is like 7 reps on each leg. Does that fit with what we're doing? Yeah. It's going to hit the legs in that same kind of range when we do our squats. We do 4 to 6 reps, usually 5. So 5 to 7 reps. Individual leg work though. You're not on 2 feet like you are when you're doing deadlift and squat. So that's 110, so a lighter weight, individual leg, powering through dynamic drive, hitting the abs, hitting the lower back, stabilizing through the back and the shoulders, driving through the feet, firing up them glutes. So, as I've just mentioned off the camera there, I was picking that weight up. If you're struggling with your squat to get going, or you feel a bit nauseous or a bit afraid, try doing some very light walking lunges. Start with the bar, start with nothing, start with your body weight, or start with, sometimes they've got slightly smaller bars. So the Olympic bar is 20 kilos, so there are other bars that are about 15. They're a little bit smaller, a little bit narrower. And just get the technique driving through. Everybody has to start somewhere. And if you're a more advanced lifter, try loading this up, focusing on your abs, focusing on the distance that you're striding to really differentiate between the quads and the hams, firing up the glutes, firing through the feet. It will help develop and bring on your squat. It will also help the other exercise that we do the clean and jerk and we do the snatch. Essentially, that lunging movement is the clean and jerk movement. You need to be explosive in that split stance. So by doing this walk-in lunge, you are working dynamically in a split stance, loaded up, going very deep. The depth at which you drop this rear leg and this front leg really helps you get a lot of power in the base. We keep talking a lot about power in the base because it's so important when you're deep down, right in the hole, and you're loaded up and you've got to drive through to power through and out, whether that's for deadlift, squat, lunge, walk-in lunge, clean and jerk, snatch. Obviously, some of my weaknesses are when I'm doing the clean and jerk and the snatch. I find it really hard to power up when I've got that weight over my head. That's something I need to work on. So this is why I do these complementary exercises. So, right, we're gonna do one more exercise. I'm gonna get the belt and the chain out and I'm gonna load up my abs, which will be really complementary to what we've just done. So I'm gonna spin you around, I'll put the belt on and I'll get some weights on the chain and we'll get these hip flexors and this core worked. So if I come onto this bar here, yeah, that's good. So we're going to do some abs on screen today, which is good. It's literally just hanging abs with some loaded weight. We'll probably start with just the body weight. And we'll break these to give you some perspective. Bring you through, bring you into the picture. I think we're doing all right there. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, guys. You can feel free to put a thumbs up on the video. Of course, most authentic live stream on YouTube. No cuts, no edits. All the fails, all the progress, all the successes. Right, let's see where we are. Oh, I'm feeling tired. That drains you, man, that really drains you. Heavy bench, heavy lunges. That is something else. Right, we've got this bar here. So we are up above and we really want to hang. Let me just see if we can drop this down a little bit. Legs are tired jumping off that. I tell you, with these walk-in lunges, you will feel it in the morning. Everything, your glutes and your quads and your hams, fired up. So we've done 3 sets today, but it's the first time I've done it in so long. But next time, you know, I may do 3 sets again, or I may do 5 sets. Doesn't really matter. As long as I'm building it up. Right, let's see. I don't think I'm gonna have enough room here, am I? No, I'm not gonna have enough room to drop the legs down. We need to get that stretch. Let me sort this out, sorry. Bit of faff. Yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? That's good. So that'll stop me swinging back and using momentum as well, which is really good. Because sometimes when you're doing this hanging leg raise, you sometimes need something or somebody behind you to stop you just swinging. So I like to put a block behind me so my heels can just tap that. I can stiffen my spine, tap my heels, and it'll just stop me from rocking and swinging, especially when you're loaded up. Because you really want to focus the energy and you really want to focus that force through the abs and the hip flexors. Right. I do need some chalk though. Gonna hang. So we get a 10 plate. Oh wow, I can feel all my hips are really tight after doing those lunges. Even just leaning down like that now. Drive right through the glutes. It's a real glute buster. Real booty buster. If you want a bigger booty. Fashionable. Oh, I've not done this very well, have I? Let's get this on. We want this across our lap, right? Hopefully it won't slip off. So we kind of want this across our lap so we can lift up. Get the abs going. Hopefully we've got enough purchase. So I want this across, kind of across my legs. Hopefully it won't slip out. I don't know, it might do. That's what we want, just there. Can I get that? Hopefully it won't slip off, it might. If it does, I'll just have to start again. See, that's the swing I'm trying to avoid. Oh, it's gonna slip off. No. So, I need to pin it around me somehow. Give me a second. Come on. It's gonna have to be pinned, isn't it? Never mind. Right, so I know we need to do this, and then we need to make this across here to make it tight, which is like that. That'll work. There we go. Now that is on. Solid. Good. That feels good, actually. That feels better. Right. Overhand grip. See, that length I've got is still over the thighs and over the knees, so I can still get a good hip flexion on that. Whoa, next level abs. Now, wow. Okay, so next level abs, right. Progression on this. Obviously we can increase the weight, but we don't want to do that. We're going to do another set on this weight to really get that technique again. Other progression, we simply lengthen the chain. We get a longer chain, So the weight sits lower and lower and lower. At the moment, the midpoint of the weight is kind of over our knees. If that weight drops down and goes to the feet, literally down to the ankles, you're working a much longer lever, so the weight is coming in a larger arc as we flex up, so it should be harder and harder. So that's progression that we can introduce later on, which is really good. But the beauty here though is you're not going to get the benefit of going heavier or lengthening the weight at the moment because we're not strong enough. And secondly, you'll start to gather momentum the further away the weight is down to the feet. You're just going to rock and swing. So that's why I like to have this block behind me so I can go very, very slow. As I'm lowering my legs, I can just hit my heels at the back and stiffen up and it'll stop me swinging. So that's why that block is there, as well as to help me reach this kind of 8-foot bar. So we can just touch at the back and it'll just bring everything into a stiff, full stop block. Then I can really power up my abs again and really power through. So this will not isolate the abs at all. There's a lot of guys and girls that do abdominal work and they're doing sit-ups and crunches and they think that they're hitting the abs and isolating the abs. You're not. You're actually hitting the hip flexors, which is the rectus femoris of the quads, and your iliopsoas muscle, which is the iliacus and the psoas major minor. And they are powerful hip flexors, as well as the abdominals. You will hit a little bit of abdominals, but you're pretty much going to be dominated by the hip flexors because they're much bigger, much more powerful. So this is not going to ideally isolate the abs, but after doing something like really heavy walking lunges, it's actually going to be really, really complementary to hit both the abs and the hip flexors and a little bit of the quads again. So I think it's a great workout. Again, multi-joint, compound, loaded, sub-max movements really help you to grow and really bring on that progress. Right, we're going to do the set. So what I'll do in a few weeks is I'll just find a longer chain and I'll drop it right down to the ankles and I'll just be swinging through the ankles and really lifting through. Right, let's see if we can get into this again. So I'm going to do 3 sets of this. If I've not locked. So that one goes through there. This one comes onto here. I think, yeah. That's all right, isn't it? Whew. Right, here we go. Ah, just insane. All that work's paying off. Doesn't feel like much is happening at the time when obviously but after, you'll see all the other streams as all the weeks have gone by and you just feel like it really does start to make a difference. Ultimate progress, natural progress. Right, are we ready? Wow. So you can manage a little bit of rotation in there as well. Oh. Woo. Just bringing the legs slightly out to the side in that cadence. We'll hit those obliques slightly as well. Wow, that's tough. Ooh. 10's enough. get this tidied up as well, so we're ready to go. So let me know how your training going is, guys. Feel free to comment. And I hear about your progress as well. It's always nice to hear. Love to see people doing well. Whew. Last set, then debrief. But wow, that was taxing. That was a tough workout, man. Wow. Heavy bench. New season's best on the bench as well. Earlier today. These big silver 25s. Ooh. Damn, that's heavy. Push me fingers. Oh. Right, last set coming up. Whew. Right, let's see how this goes. This is damn hard, really hard. Hanging leg raises are always tough. Oh, my glutes. Oh. Those lunges hit deep. Let's see what you've got. Come on. Last set. Let's try 6 to 8 reps. But I think the hardest part of this as well is like hanging, because your grip strength and your lats from the previous session that we did, reviewing JD Gym's Newport, that was a real, I mean, the lats are, and the grip is just still, whew. So we need good recovery, lots of good food tonight. Right. Let's have a go. Nice and deep. That was hard, so I couldn't even get halfway on that last rep. Wow, that was blooming tough. But you could see in that one I could get a bit more appreciation of the rotation as well. That is heavy loaded abs. That is hard. You have to go slow, because if you build up too quickly on that, and I mean really slow, like it can take months to years, because if you build up too quickly, you don't want to give yourself a hernia, a femoral hernia if you're a female usually, or something called an inguinal hernia if you're a boy usually. Basically, you don't want to get like a little pocket of your abdomen skin or intestines poking through. So build up your abdominal wall nice and slowly. You don't want a hernia. Oh, I think it's time to debrief, don't you guys? I think we need some fluids and some food. Whew. Yes. Wow. Let me debrief. Oh, wow. Wow. NPC. Wow. I need a bit of water. Right. Oof. Right, Alex. Wow. Damn. Thirsty work. Isn't that like the straightest banana you've ever seen? Look how straight that is. Right, anyway. So. Oh, yes. I love food. Right, so what do? More progress, more steady increment, slowly. We progressed on the bench press today. We did 125 kilo. But the beauty is, we did 125 kilo for reps and for sets. So it was a lot. All right, Gemma. Hayley was dancing earlier. Yeah.
I'm tempted. I don't want time just in the background.
You can do.
You are?
A lead, no?
I have no idea.
Not sure. So, bench press done. New season's best. Fantastic. Achieving all reps, all sets. Beautiful. Felt nice as well. Safe. It's not my pec, but I felt like, as I mentioned at the start of the stream, when we were doing the yoke carry, having your arms out in this position, loaded, I felt like I kind of like strained something weeks ago maybe, but it's not there all the time. It's weird. But I couldn't feel it at all today when I was bench pressing. And then sometimes it gets a bit weird. I don't know what it is. But next time I do the yoke carry, I'm going to check how I'm holding the frame, because I think that's where that like stretch is coming from. But it's not a strain or a tear. Thinking with my physio head on, it's just like something that's been stretched in some way. It's really weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just a little bit of fascia or something in the pecs. I don't know. But that felt all right today. So you go in really, really heavy on the bench and it feels fine. But then when I grip that yoke frame, so maybe I need to adjust my grip on the yoke frame here. We're probably going to do the yoke frame probably in the next stream anyway. We're due to do a yoke session, so we will. But I think maybe if I grip it here, it will be less impinging on the shoulders. Who knows? Anyway, so we did that. Then we did really heavy. Really heavy walk-in lunges, which is amazing. We spoke about this. It's the first time we've done walk-in lunges this season. We spoke about the introduction to walk-in lunges, which is basic safety tips and basic technique. We've not done any of the more advanced stuff yet. We went up to 110 kilos on the walk-in lunge today. Barbell, it's heavy, it's grueling, it's horrible. I hardly see anybody do walk-in lunges, and I think I saw a guy doing walk-in lunge last in the summer, and he had about 60 kilos on there, and he was a CrossFitter, and I think he was just warming up. But to do it as a dedicated exercise, continuously, as well as heavy squats, as well as heavy deadlift, as well as clean and jerk and snatch, it's hard and it's grueling, but it will bring your training to the next level. It will thicken your legs up. It will give you really nice complexion and density to your legs. It will help strengthen the infrastructure of your knee and protect your knee from injuries. It will strengthen your calves and your intrinsic muscles of the foot. It will strengthen your glutes and your lower abs. It does everything. It's a brilliant exercise. Do the walking lunges. And I briefly mentioned, I'll say it once more, if you're new to squatting or you're finding it difficult to squat or deadlift and you can't get that power into the base and you're scared of going below a certain depth, you need to get walking lunges in your life and really get those knees nice and low. But we will do them again and we'll talk more about them. And we did hanging abs, loaded, which is brilliant. Very hard. Caution of giving yourself a hernia. Making sure you're building up nice and slowly, just with body weight at first. Doing other things to strengthen your abs as well, such as using the Swiss ball, or the yoga ball, or the pregnancy ball, whatever you want to call it. And you can do loaded hanging upside down abs. There's floor work you can do, just whatever you can do. Plus the Zercher squats we've done in the other stream. Zercher squats, front squats, squats in general will also help work your abs, as well as some of the overhead clean, overhead squat. And I think that's it. We're back on Monday. I've got a bit of a funny schedule this week. I think I'm doing some night shifts, which are really good fun. I like night shifts. Interesting things, but it does mess with routine day-to-day things sometimes. So I've obviously got to sleep and recover as well after night shifts. So I'm going to make sure my recovery is top drawer. So I'm very likely to stream on Monday this week, and then we're due for a 2-day rest anyway. So we've done Thursday, Saturday, Monday, and then so definitely do a Monday stream, guys, so tune in for that. And then I'm going to be having a rest Tuesday, Wednesday anyway, and then we'll see if I've recovered and slept enough on the Thursday, Friday. It's likely to be Monday, Friday next week, just because of the way the schedule falls. So, but thanks for tuning in. Thumbs up on the video, and do catch the other live streams as well. They're all connected. All of them are a steady, incremental progression of what we've done. It shows all the educational learning tips and techniques as well, and my own progress in terms of how I'm increasing the weight slowly. And it's a nice, just a little body of work really to show how to get a bit of a thicker, more dense body and be seriously strong as a natural as well. Thanks to Rob, who's a good friend of mine, for helping us on the bench today. And thanks to you guys for tuning in, because it's been wonderful. Again, really enjoyed it. I'm really tired, so I need to go home, get some food, steak and some cheese, steamed vegetables. Oh, in fact, no, I'm not going to eat that. Because my neighbours, I told you in the heavy sets, I think the stream was heavy sets and Gymshark product review stream. I spoke about my neighbours, lovely neighbours from Bangladesh. They keep cooking me food and it's amazing. Homemade, organic, absolutely gorgeous food. So she's made me, the gentleman's wife has made me, they made me some food. I got back from where I was this week, and he knocked around last night, and he's made us some food, so I'm going to eat that today, which is really, really healthy and perfect food after the gym. Lots of steak, lots of meat, lots of vegetables, lots of really nice homemade sauce. So I'm going to eat that. It'll be fantastic, and it's a really great recovery. Right, anyway. Some more videos coming on the channel as well, guys, and the podcast is coming as well. Still planning, but that'll be all good. Right, see you later.